Hey guys, what's up? It's Cooper Brothers in Arms. Today we're going to be doing another gun versus gun video, or more like a round versus round. In fact, that's what we're going to call it, round versus round, because we're not looking at these rifle platforms so much as we're looking at the round themselves. We're going to be doing the 30-30 Winchester versus the 30-06 Springfield. And if you see my videos before, you know I'm not really into the versus, as in which one is better. We're just simply comparing them because they both obviously have their uses, especially in the deer hunting world. And you know, it's just kind of personal preference, but we're going to go over what to expect out of each round. These are both Hornady American whitetails, 150 grain on each side, and the only difference is, you know, obviously the 30-06 is going to pack a little bit more punch. It's got some more velocity coming out of that round, almost 1,000 FPS more. I think, if I'm right, these are like 2,100, these are like 3,100. So, and we'll get into all that, but we're going to do some shooting with these guns and talk about them a little bit. Right here you can see I've got the 30-06s. These are both Remington 700. They're both 30-06. They're just a little different in what their stocks are and what they offer in these price packages. This is a BDL, this is an ADL, but all in all, they're about the same gun. And then over here, we've got two 30-30s. This is a Winchester Model 94, which is probably one of the most popular lever guns ever made. And then the Marlin 336W, which is pretty popular as well. But we'll get into all that. So the first thing that we're gonna do is something I've been wanting to do for a while on this channel. Just haven't really found the guns I wanted to do it with, but we're gonna be doing a concrete penetration test. Up there at the targets, we're about 50 yards right now, by the way. But up there at the targets, if you can see it, there's a concrete block, a 1.5 inch rebar reinforced concrete block, and we're not really going to try to shoot through it because I think the only thing that has a possibility of going through it is maybe the 30-06, but I'm not even sure if it will. But we're going to shoot at it and see what kind of wound channel we get, and I'm super excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so let's jump right into it. We're going to start out with the 30-30. Like I said, 50 yards, and we're gonna see what kind of wound we leave on this 1.5 inch rebar reinforced concrete block. All right, guys, we're going to do the penetration test. We're gonna start off with the Marlin 30-30. So let's go ahead, put our ear protection on. All right, here we go. So, to my surprise, the 30-30 has actually gone all the way through in here. The camera woman will show you here. This is, I mean, solid concrete, and it has just punched right through there and taken out a huge chunk of the hay bale as well. So I'm really surprised. I kind of expected it to bounce off. Not really bounce off, but you know, leave kind of a crater there and then fall to the ground, but punched it right through. So that's I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. And you know, like I said, this isn't a which one's better. I just didn't expect that kind of performance out of a 30-30. So wow, that's nice. Let's go shoot 30-06. All right, so we have the Remington 700 ADL 30-06 with a honking scope on it. This is not my gun. This is a viewer's gun that let me borrow it. And I love these Remington 700s. And it's a nice scope, but I was not expecting it to be that long. And this is actually just a sunshade that came with the scope. But that's kind of interesting to have such a long scope on such a rifle. But anyway, let's get to it. We have basically identical entry holes and exit holes, and I'm impressed. I expected the 30-30 to punch through, but I didn't, or the 30-06, sorry.
I expected the 30-06 to punch through, but I didn't expect it to be such a devastating hole, and I definitely didn't expect it from the 30-30. So that's amazing. And right here you can see the rebar is kind of exposed there. This is rebar reinforced concrete, and it's going right through. This is tough stuff. And obviously deer aren't as thick as dense anyway, as 1.5 inch rebar reinforced concrete block. So I'd say if you're using either of these rounds for really any sort of big game hunting, except maybe for extreme big game in Africa or Alaska, you're probably going to be just fine with either one of these rifles. I'm impressed all the way around. They both did well. So we're going to move out to 100 yards and do a long range test, and I'm not going to make any assumptions about which one is better. Just know that the 30-06 might be a little easier to shoot with or at long range because it has a scope, but I'm pretty confident with iron sights as well, so we'll see. But I'm impressed by those entry and exit holes. That's amazing. So guys, this isn't really a gun versus gun, like I said. This is more of a round versus round. One thing I did want to mention though is obviously, as we showed, you know, these 30-06s or really any rifle caliber can be found in a wood stock, and also these 30-30s or lever guns can also now be found with these all-weather stocks. The Henry all-weather rifle is, you know, a black synthetic stock with a kind of stainless looking barrel, like a matte stainless. Marlin, I'm pretty sure, makes one now. I can't remember what the model of it is, but I'll put a little text down below to tell you guys what it is once I look it up. But, you know, it's just, you can find any variation that you need to find. So don't let that discourage you when looking for either one or the other of these rounds, because you can find whatever you need to find. And, you know, they even make modular 30-30s now where you can put lights and scopes and, well, not just scopes, red dot scopes. And, you know, it's a lot of stuff that you can do nowadays. Don't be discouraged because you think that this is just an old cowboy gun and you have to be some kind of redneck to carry one. There's so many options out there. So anyway, we're going to get into a long range test. I've got the Remington 700 BDL 30-06. We're going to be shooting at 100 yards. We're going to shoot 3-shot groups out of each gun, and we'll see how they stack up against each other. Let's do it. All right, guys, so our shot placement here, a little bit to the left, but, you know, cheapo scope that I just kind of threw on there. I'm pretty happy with it. So the iron sights 30-30 probably ought to stack up pretty well against it. We're going to move back to 100 yards, try it out. But basically what we're looking for, because these are, you know, the American deer rifles. So we're just looking for, you know, can you drop a deer at 100 yards? With the 30-30, you know, this is probably either heart or lung. If you're aiming right here and you're hitting here, that's pretty good. You probably got a dead deer. And with the 30-30, we'll probably get pretty close, but we'll shoot and see. So let's move back and let's do it. All right, guys, so I'm not going to be using the bench rest for this one. It's just a little too impractical because these sling mounts are in the way and working this lever while it's in that contraption. Just not very practical. And also, I'm going to be aiming a lot higher than I was with the 30-06. I was aiming dead center with the 30-06. This one I'm going to be aiming right above the target. So I kind of know how the rifle shoots. I know it's probably going to hit a little low. So let's see. All right, guys, so this is tremendous grouping. I mean, this is better than the 30-06 with a scope on it. you know, right down this. Now, I do want to point out, I was aiming here, okay? So it dropped quite a bit. But this, you can hold the group, and if, you know, you figure out that it's holding here, so next time I'll hold here, and then I'll be here, and then I'll hold here, and then, so you can figure it out. You can figure out how to put your rounds where you need them to. And when you're grouping like this, it makes it easy. So 30-30, great round. You know, at 100 yards, you're kind of pushing your range there, but I have no doubt that you can still drop a deer at 100 yards with 30-30. And you can put scopes on them even. And great round, great gun. And, you know, both of them performed pretty amazing today. I like them both. I would say that if you're looking for long range, you know, if you're going to be taking 200-300 yard shots, probably want to go with the 30-06. And, you know, 30-06 isn't even the only long range deer round out there. You got 270, 243 is a good one. 300, well, maybe not 300 Win Mag, it's a pretty big gun. But they're 7mm Remington Mag, 7mm .8. Lot of different rounds out there. This is just, you know, these are at least around here, probably the most popular rounds. So, you know, we did a video to see how they compare against each other. If you need a good brush gun, you're shooting cover and timber, you know, 30-30 maybe. If you're only taking 50, 75 yard shots, you know, different strokes for different folks. Use whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you're practiced with. I will say that where 30-30 does its best is close range. And even if you were going to be doing follow-up shots, let's say for home defense, like on this man target right here. Kill some clay pigeons. If you have rounds, which I don't. Actually, hold on. Oh, always keep a spare round in your pocket. You don't want to be caught with your pants down. Come on. Hey, got some clay pigeons. Now, you can do that with 30-06. You know, they have 30-06 with iron sights as well, but it's just a whole lot funner with a lever gun. I mean, dadgum, I feel like John Wayne or Jimmy Stewart out there. It's a nice feeling. Anyway, folks, we're going to wrap up the video. I hope you learned something. Hope we educated you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We've been getting more subscribers than we have been and since we started this channel lately. And it's a great feeling. We're so thankful that you guys are out there watching us, supporting us, and keep doing it. Make sure that you follow the Instagram as well. We're like 3 followers away from doing our shirt giveaway. So make sure you're on there. Make sure that, you know, if you want more of these videos, more of this content, you're out there supporting it. Have a great day, guys.